Okay, so today is September 29th. So today we're going to come have a seat. We're gonna finish the Foley. So yes, last week was a long time day. We had a kind of a production meeting, and then we did ADR. Someone tell me what ADR stands for. Just did it. Nobody. So my lessons are so unmemorable. Automate audio dialogue. Audio dialogue replacement. It's also called looping sessions. It's when, and the reason why we loop, if you were here last week, you saw that I would play the clip over and over and over again. The one thing that we didn't do, just because of time restraints, is the actors usually get to watch the character themselves usually, but if you were going to voice over somebody else, watch them so that you can kind of match it. And I feel like at some places, if we have issues, it's going to be because the actors couldn't see, the voice actors couldn't see the original actors saying their lines. So that's a bit of an issue. But we didn't even have time to finish. So we did more ADR midweek. So there were some actors who came in who did quite well. So I feel like we're ready. We're done with the ADR, but now we have to do the Foley. What is Foley? A Foley artist. So by the end of the day, you're all going to be Foley artists. But what does a Foley artist do? Sarah? Recording of what? Voice. No, that's ADR or looping. Foley is what? It's like sound effects. And I have a list. We're doing the Back to the Future scene. I have 20 sounds that we need to record. So we're going to, when we are done with our production meeting, we're going to work on Foley today. Then when we're done with Foley, those of you who are interested in camera, we're going to have our first red camera crash session. Those of you who are interested in cinematography, lenses, and the red camera in particular, and pulling focus and all that stuff, that's going to be today. A week from today, we're shooting. So Jason is directing a film called Leaving, and it is. You want to give a quick pitch?
Yeah. So it's about a girl that is in an abusive relationship with her father, and so she ends up she packs up her stuff and starts walking out the door. As she's walking out, she gets a ring notification as something is walking up to her doorsteps, and there's the demon there. And so she ends up trying to lock up her house, and turns out the demon's already got inside and possessed her dad. And so she has to defend herself from her dad, and she's also dealing with the loss of her mom, and we don't really tell until the very end. We hint and stuff. And is there anything else that I missed?
Yeah, I'm dying. I'm playing the dad who gets killed. Tells you what Jason thinks of me. But
have you died before?
Oh, so many times. I feel like I'm in Groundhog Day, and I'm being killed all the different ways possible. So yes, I am. Yes, I have. I'm sorry. I'm on Zoom, so I'm trying to double do things. So that is what we're shooting next week. The call time is not 10. Here's where the class gets funky. I apologize for it, but it is a horror film, and Jason does not feel that the daylight is a good option for his film. My house has tons of windows, and it would be expensive and very time consuming to black out all the windows. So we are going to have a later call time. Check the schedule I update it a lot, but it will be next Friday, probably about an hour before dark. So if it's getting dark at 6, the call time might be 5. The other thing that's a bit weird is we are not likely to finish the film. We're not going to go beyond midnight. And so when we wrap, if we're not done, we're coming back. And I'm telling you, you're going to be coming back because my wife is playing my wife in the film, and she also dies. She's our daughter's a volleyball player, and she has a big game. My wife never misses her games. And so she'll probably not be back until 9 or 10. So if we can fit it in at that point, Sophie's got to do her makeup. That takes time. So we might be doing pickups, remaining shots on Saturday after dark. Probably need a smaller crew. You don't need to come. It's one of those things that the experiences are really fun and cool, and we think that it's good that you come, but you're not obligated. It doesn't hurt your grade. It's just you get to see a horror film being made. Probably the majority of the makeup and the special effects shots will be done Saturday night. So if you like that type of thing, blood, scars, horror, might be worth coming back. Those of you who are at home, if you can't come on Fridays, but you can come on Saturdays, it might be the perfect opportunity to come to a shoot. Okay, so yes, Sarah.
What did you say?
Probably an hour or so, probably 5, and I will put it out on the schedule. Come if you want to come whenever you can. We'll put you to work. This, by the way, is Sarah. Sarah and I have known each other for a decade. Yeah. I would have to say, and I'm not just saying this because she's in the room, one of the best actors I've ever worked with in my life. I've never seen somebody who can laugh, say action, cry, just profusely, cut, and she's laughing again, and then action, and she's crying again. I have never seen anyone who'd be able to turn it off, play evil, sweet, just has a huge range. I mean, she can't, there's no genre she can't do. She's acting for us twice this semester. She's going to act as the big sister in Marty's film. And she's going to play Vivian Lee's character Janet Lee's character in Psycho, the shower scene. We finally get to shoot my scene. So we're going to be shooting that again at my house. By the way, this coming Friday, my house, I'm going to put it on the schedule. It's there already. But my address is 2435 Olea Court. If you drive up Santa Teresa, take a left on Mantelli going west, you go almost all the way to the back, and it's kind of up in that area. We live on a private street, but we have to kind of park on the right side, so we'll try to arrange for parking. But hopefully, if you can carpool, that'd be better. But we do have some parking, so. And we'll have dinner probably both nights. I don't know how long we're going to go the second night. That'll be determined how far we get on the first one. So anything else to say about? Yeah, if you want to do specific jobs, he's the director. He gets to decide who does what. So if you want to be on the camera crew, for example, Jonathan is our DP. Jonathan won Best Cinematographer twice at the Gabbies. That's a very big deal. He knows how to do some equipment like the remote follow focus that no one else here does. So he's a great one to help. So we're going to need a first and second AC. What does the first AC do, Zoe? Yeah, so it is the person who works directly with the DP, swapping out lenses, swapping out batteries, often pulling focus. So it is the person who becomes the first AC is usually the person who's going to be promoted to DP. Jason is often our DP. He DP'd almost every single project last semester. Well, now he's directing. So no one else yet is checked off on the red except for Sophie, but she's ADing, right? So we're bringing in Jonathan. But if you want to end up being a cinematographer, if that's important to you, get in with Jonathan and be his first or second AC. Does anyone know what the second AC does? We talked about this. The slate, yep, operates the slate and is the first AC's assistant. So if the first AC is doing the lens change by herself and needs help, it will be the second AC who will go get the lens and they together do that. And we're going to go over all of the red procedures or camera procedures today. So anyways, if you want a job, if you really want to do audio, you loved working with the F8 last week, or you thought holding the boom was fun, let Jason know. He's trying to get people. If you want to work with, well, I'm probably going to do, even though I'm going to act in it, I'm probably going to be the gaffer. But I would love to be able to kind of just help a little bit and have you do it. So if you want to be a gaffer or a key grip, let me know if you want to work with lighting. So anyways, we're starting next week. This is going to stop being theoretical where we're talking about stuff. We're actually going to be doing it. We're making a movie. And our goal is to have a very good final product. And so you got to keep that in mind, that the goal is to not cheat Jason. We want for the best possible footage for the class. Okay, so the week after that is open. My guess is that we're going to do the next thing kind of on the agenda was Steadicam work, for those of you who want to try it. And then we're going to really delve into the 180-degree rule and the rule of thirds. So we'll spend a class doing that. Then after that, I don't think there's a single class where we're not, come on in, have a seat. There are more seats and more space. Let's see on the schedule. We have 2 weeks of Southern Bliss from Sophie, and we're filming all over the place. And so we'll have a more detailed schedule where and when. Hers is mostly shot during the day, so we'll probably be, our call time will probably be roughly 10. Some things will be shot on campus. Some things might be shot at, did you ask? Oh, yeah. So a house just 20 minutes out of town, and a little bit at my home, and then some country areas, rural looking areas. But that will all be clearly defined. So we'll know. The week right after that is David's film, Halfway to Heaven. His son is a very good actor, and he's one of the 2 characters. The other is not. And I know that we have some actors here, people who are interested. I want to introduce you to David if you want. It's the story. I already kind of told you the story real quickly. A guy comes from his best friend's funeral. He's home. He's about to toast him in his life, and suddenly he's there. It's his ghost. They have this conversation, and it's a comedy. And the way we're going to shoot it is we're going to have background plates for everything. So he'll be semi-transparent with kind of a blue glow to him. I guess it's kind of look a little bit like dead Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda or something like that. But anyways, he's going to look ghostly. And Kellen, you guys want to sit? There are other chairs, or you can move them around too if you want, but you don't have to stand. So that is that film. Ava and Vanessa's film, are either of them here? No. That's the week after. That film is going to be shot in a lot of different places. My house for several scenes is probably where we'll start, but then we're going to go to a coffee shop and then an antique shop for that. November 17th might be the day that we shoot Psycho. Is it, what do you think, Sarah? Is that a day? We're probably going to need a lot of hours. So then what about the December 1st? Okay, so I'm writing it down now. The Psycho shower scene had 70 camera setups. 70. It's yeah. We're going for an absolute match. Shot for shot. We want it to look exactly like the original Psycho scene. So there's a chance that we might need to film Friday and then Saturday for pickups. But it is Sarah who's playing that part. And will you be our
Sure.
yeah, have you seen that scene?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched.
So you're gonna have to wear a wig and a dress. So I hope I'm not spoiling it for those of you who haven't seen. No, I really don't want that. Yeah, no, I mean, she had kind of curly hair too, so yeah, I'm not worried about it. We do have to get you your uniform. We'll talk about it, but a bodysuit skin color. Yeah, and if not, I'll buy one. But we need it to be waterproof or water resistant, because you, yeah. So did you say ask something, Kellen?
No.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is famous. You can watch just the scene on YouTube. We're gonna go to the blood going down the drain, and that's where we're stopping. We're not going to do the intricate eye movement because that would just be torture for you. What?
Yeah.
The famous Psycho shower scene. Yeah. But we're going to stop at the drain. And we're going to start with her entering and throwing the scraps into the toilet and then go all the way through. Yeah. So that will be December 1st. We're shooting Blueberry on December 8th, again at my house. That's Marty's film. Do you have anything that you want to say to the group about your film?
It's about a girl who she's been homeless and she comes back home and breaks into her family's home so she can gather some food and supplies. And she makes so much noise that she wakes up her big sister. And
by the way, here are our two sisters.
and she wakes up her sister and then they kind of have a spat. They talk about it. She's trying to find out why her little sister is not home anymore. And little sister is just trying to meet the other dad.
Is Tim playing the dad? Oh, well, he should be here at some point today. I think he said he thought he would be. So really powerful film. That's great. So we do have an open slot on November 17th. And do you remember Jordy? Jordy came in a couple times. He's high energy. Jordy's friend wrote a screenplay when he heard that Zoe was going to wait until next semester to do hers. He hurried up and got it in. And it's two guys on a park bench. Tim really liked the screenplay. I haven't read it yet, but that's likely to be our scene. And again, for you actors, there's another possible spot for a part. So we are also going to do a few scenes for the actors in our acting class. on Thursdays. So if you want to crew that, you can. But we're likely to do something scenes that will have lots of people. I'm thinking something like the Breakfast Club in a classroom. Makes it easy for us. And, we need, what is it, 3 women and 3 men for that? I think so. So there's 6 parts, and then the teacher. So I'm not playing another awful teacher. I'm going to get typecast. Anyways, that is probably something we're going to be doing, so you can be involved with that. The other thing I wanted to say is that I don't know if you've noticed on the Gavilan homepage, but we now have Gav TV News. That's us. We produce that. We're shooting something every week for the rest of the year, this semester, and the winter break, and the spring break. So if you want a crew, and let me just tell you reason why. Maybe you think, oh man, I just want to make movies. I'll tell you how many of our students who've gone out of here. So Trevor Rock. Trevor left Gavilan. He went to San Jose State to their film program, and he got hired in their sports broadcasting. And he's now works for NBC, and he's about to become a director, and he'll start directing live television for the 49ers, the Giants, the Warriors, and the Sharks, and getting paid pretty well for it. But to get in the entry level so he could become a camera operator, he had to have 800 hours, documented hours of time behind the camera. So he started coming to all of our athletic events and filming basketball games and volleyball games and football and soccer games, and Bach to Blues, the big concert that we have in the spring, and being at all of our events so that he could log hours. So to get some jobs, sometimes you just need time behind the camera. So there's a reason there to do it, but it's nice to learn a variety of cameras. There are workhorse cameras like the Sony, which we use all the time. We've got 5 of them, so we often will have 4 or 5 camera shoots. When we do, we use the switcher. So for example, at graduation, we shoot with 5 different cameras. We'll have one on a jib, we'll have one in the middle and 2 on either side, and we go handheld so we can walk around. And they're all plug-in live streams into the switcher, and then the director gets to then fade in between each shot. Well, that's all great experience. If you want to practice any of that or try it out or just experiment or whatever, we would love to have you. So heads up, on Wednesdays, I teach a foreign cinema class in Morgan Hill. Can't be here. I leave at 1. But we are filming the health fair and the Gavilan music ensembles performance on Wednesday. Tim's going to be here, but he needs some help. So if you want to help Tim, he needs, first of all, if you're an actor and you want to be in front of the camera, we're going to give you a microphone and you ask questions and you are in front of the camera. That can go in your reel. That all of those experiences in front of the camera can help. Or if you want to work with audio or help Tim, or if we have someone who's got any kind of experience, we can have 2 or 3 cameras going instead of just 1. But if you want, let me know, or if Tim gets here before we're done today, you can talk to Tim specifically, or talk to Geronimo, who was here, and we'll get you involved. If not this coming Wednesday, I'll tell you real quickly what some of the projects that we're shooting this semester, because I have our production. Okay, just so we're shooting the Nacho Moya art exhibit on October 13th. We're shooting the haunted house on October 20th. We're shooting the women's and men's soccer games on October 24th. We're shooting the jazz concert on November 2nd. We're shooting the women's volleyball game. They're playing my daughter, who plays at West Valley. She's a traitor. But I still love her. But that's on November 8th. The men's soccer playoffs, or if they have a home game, and if not, we're going to do the men's basketball game on that week of November 13th, 17th. We're doing the children's theater production on November 28th. We're doing a music recital on December 7th. And then we're shooting a promo for our 72-hour film competition, which happens during the spring or the winter break. That's us. So we're going to, come up with a fun stuff. We did tell you about the 72-hour competition, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This is our third annual. The winner gets $1,000, and then it's a couple $100 for each of the runner-ups. But those are all the things we're going to be shooting and editing and putting together, and just as many things in the spring as well. So if you want to be involved with that, we would love to have you join us. Once you come up, because this is for the directors who are looking for actors. I'm going to send this to David, for example. Yeah. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Atwood. I'm an actor. I've been in 40 stage productions and 10 short films. And I just wanted to introduce myself to the directors. If you need an actor or anyone, you can contact me. Trying to think of the best way to
Have them reach, if they want to talk to you, reach out to me, and then I'll get your contact information.
Yeah.
And that way I can give you email and phone for text is good.
Of course. Yeah, what he said. Contact him if you want to contact me. Yeah, awesome.
And I can vouch. He's in the acting class and is one of the greats in the class. So I highly recommend him. And if he's right for a part, can't go wrong. He's great. So thank you for coming. Thank you. You're welcome to come to any of our productions to work too. If not in front of the camera, then behind. As you get to know people, that you're more likely to become friends and want to cast you. So yeah, awesome.
Thank you.
Sure. So I don't know, any other questions about our schedule? I think I've gone through everything. By the way, on December 15th, that's our last class. This class is unique. Have any of you heard what our final exam is like? There is no written test. I ask oral questions of you. I'll hold up. There's not one there. The clothespin. And I'll say, what do we call this on set? C-47. And if you get it right, good. I think you have to answer 3 questions. You got one. We don't call this a tripod. What do we call a camera on a tripod? It's sticks, right? So now you've got one. And so we're going to go until everyone has 3. And when there's somebody who's been here for a while, I go harder questions. So expect really hard stuff, all about camera. I try to stump some of those people. The most fun we ever had, we had this guy who was a DP for us, Derek May. He's now down in Hollywood and he works a lot of big films. Really talented, super funny, and everyone liked him. But I saved the hardest of the hard questions for Derek, who came in real kind of cocky. And he struggled with every question I gave him. And we all had a good time at his expense. So anyways, it'll be fun. We'll have some food, and then I want to watch all of the films that you've made. So for example, you have the hardest job here because you're shooting a week before that happens, and we want to see something. Now, there's no way we're expecting even a rough cut of your whole film, but maybe you know, an important part of a scene or something. So we can see, because I know Zoe and Sarah, for example, are going to want to see themselves, even just a little bit of it. If, you know, this is the work we've been working on all semester, and we want to see. So that's our goal. If you're making an individual project and you're not directly involved in one of the big ones, we want to see your films. So we're going to take 30, 40, 50 minutes to take the final exam and eat and have a good time. And then we're just going to watch your films. And we have it's a party more than anything. So that's December 15th, end of the semester. We will not only have the 72-hour competition during the winter, but we almost always shoot a short film or two. All of you are invited to be involved. And then week 1 or week 2, we're shooting Zoe's film for next semester. And so unlike this semester where we've done a lot of the teaching and a lot of the equipment and techniques and things, we're jumping right into making films, because the showcase has been moved up almost a month. It's now March 30th. So we need to try to get another 4 or 5 films done, shot and wrapped, so that we can do edits on them so they can make it into the showcase. This year, we are going to be tied somewhat to the Poppy Jasper Film Festival. So they are going to let us pick somewhere between 30 and 40 minutes of our favorite movies to be in the film festival. None of you will have to pay to get in. There are no entry fees for GAV students. So you're going to be automatically in an international film festival. So we're hosting the opening day. There's a big musical extravaganza, and then that evening there'll be the best college films from around the country, with several of ours in there. So anyways, we're excited. Anything else with the schedule? Any things that the directors want to talk? Yes. I'm sorry, what? Oh, yes, great. Yes. Come on up. Come introduce yourself. So it's not something that we tend to think about in the production class, but I can't think of a single movie that does not have some kind of music involved. Even if it's something like A Quiet Place and there's a lot of silence, opening credits and end credits. And then, but think of movies, the one that always comes to mind is Jaws. What would Jaws be without a score? I mean, so much of the tension is created by the score. Well, so you might not be thinking about it yet, directors, but there's going to come a time when you need music. And we have someone who, a musician who wants to volunteer to score your films. They can meet with you and talk about kind of the moods or what you want out of it, and then we'll write original music for your films. So, anything that
I'm a media composer. I've been doing it for a while. I have a lot of industry softwares. I have similar stuff that Hans Zimmer uses, especially with Spitfire, the softwares. Yeah, no, I just have a lot of high production stuff that is very valuable. I have some pieces online if you want to check it out. They're on SoundCloud, but I'll make a website soon. I'll make a portfolio. I usually specialize in piano or epic orchestra. I could do a lot of ambience, a lot of drones and stuff to fit a scene or bring out the most emotion out of it. Even just silence, just know when to work cut off and stuff like that. But no, that's it. I guess if you want to contact me, he has my email. So yeah.
This is what filmmakers quite often do. Music is an afterthought, and so when they're done, oh, let's find some music. Oh, it's my movie's due in a week. You can't do that to him. The smartest thing to do is those of you who have written your screenplays, give him your screenplays now so we can start thinking about it and start coming up with stuff. Soon as you have a rough cut, give it to him so that he can start seeing and visualizing. he might give you options. Well, I thought this was good, but you might want this as well. And then as the director, you get to decide or then give input. And having someone, as opposed to using, I pay for a service called Artlist, and it's music for cinematographer, filmmakers, but you can't manipulate it. You can't change it. You got to just kind of go searching through a giant library, and it's not easy to do. Here, you can actually talk to the composer and ask for changes. So this is really cool. So if you want someone to write music specifically for your film, we've got someone who's volunteering. So it's good for him and great for us.
Yep.
Thank you for coming in. All right, appreciate it. All right. Any other questions before we move on to Foley? Yes.
In terms of production nights, so if our schedule is a little bit limited, I would be hesitant to volunteer for something like second or first AC, just because if we're not always able to be there for the whole shoot, that limit our ability to help out.
I'm okay with having a third and fourth AC, and then you take turns with stuff. Or shadow somebody, so there's a day when you have more time, you can be the first AC. The DP is never gonna complain if you're there helping and asking questions and offering to help. So don't hesitate. But you might say, I'm gonna need to bounce at 10, and I know we're expected to go to midnight, so someone else can jump in, especially if we have an extra. Come on up. We were talking about projects, so maybe just about ready to move on. But yes, don't feel obligated that you have to be there the entire time. But if you know that you have to leave at a certain time, it's good to let the AD know so she can say, ooh, you know what, we're gonna need to find someone who can jump in. Happens all the time. There's often a boom operator on a set, and then someone, there could be 2 or 3 or 4 people who step in and take over. So don't worry about it. But it'd be nice to let the AD know. Yeah. The last project we didn't talk about is Sophie's Southern Bliss. And I think she's got it mostly cast now. Did you find it yet?
Didn't find it out.
Okay, so I'll reach out to those 2 that I talked about. This is a 2-week shoot. How many pages is your final script?
It's 19, now.
19 pages. And 2 weeks of 2 days each is gonna be a very long days of shooting. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be a really good film. I told you, this is the one that's the female version of No Country for Men. Female version meaning that the protagonist is a woman, and her grandmother. So but I don't know, did you have any questions for Sophie, or
We don't have a set all time for those as we get through. I'm just basing off of the.
no? And as we're going to start hashing that out. It's going to depend a lot on locations. We're trying to finalize. There's a house where there is a front porch, and we have to figure out where that's going to be. We've talked about using the Mayock house here at Gavilan, but it's noisy here and more limiting. Jason said that his family's friends have a house that look kind of perfect for Sophie, so we're trying to get permission. That's a little ways away, so we're still hashing things out. Got to be flexible though, because, and for example, if you work during the day or you're in a shoot a play at night or whatever, join us until you have to leave.
There will be both day portions and night portions of this film.
Yeah.
Some is shot at night, some is shot during the day.
So Tim will be there parts of the time, I'll be there the entire time. Probably having 2 meals a day, because we're gonna be going long days. Any questions about the schedule or what we're doing? Lots of filmmaking from here on out. I'm not even, I think we only have 1 more day where we're not shooting something. And we're gonna be actually shooting some stuff. Not a scene, but we'll be shooting some things that will go up on the class page, so. All right, we're through the business and now we can start doing the Foley. We're gonna have this online when it's edited. So, and it's gonna be really tough. We need the camera, the B camera to film the footage. So we're gonna stop Zoom now, but before I do, does anyone at home have any questions? Is there even anyone on? I don't think there is, so goodbye.